So I want to welcome everybody tonight, and it's a very excited, a huge honor to have Jimmy DaSaint on. And I'm not going to get into a lot of necessarily Jimmy's story because at the end of the interview, I'm going to tell you about a documentary, or he's going to tell you maybe about a documentary that he now has out that I watched recently on Amazon, and it tells a lot of the story. It tells the real story. And so I want to kind of dangle a little bit in front of you guys tonight to get your appetite wet, to make you want to go watch that documentary, because I found it really great, really interesting, really inspiring. It had everything that I like in a movie or a story. I mean, it had, you know, the streets and hustle and drugs and hip hop, but it also ends up encompassing redemption and entrepreneurship and all these other topics that I really love. So maybe to give you a Cliff Note version without Jimmy going into his whole story, former hustler, former federal prisoner, had some artists signed with Rockefeller. I'm trying to remember everything from the documentary. I mean, best-selling author, music artist, entrepreneur, P&R, A&R, filmmaker, founder of the Philly Hip Hop Awards, Urban Celebrity Magazine, co-author with Freeway Ricky Ross, right? Real Rick Ross, the real Rick Ross. Anything I'm leaving out you want to add to that long list of accomplishments?
No, that's enough.
Right. If that don't get you excited to hear what this man has to say, I don't know what else that I could bring up for you. Now, it's hard, man, because I want to talk to you and get some nuggets from you, some advice from you that young artists and young entrepreneurs can use, right? But and I don't want to make this a conversation about Philly. I want it to be for everybody. But it's hard to talk to you and not talk about Philadelphia. You're such an icon and a staple in that community and in that whole scene. I've got a real passion. I'm an old head. I'm a lot older than you, probably, Jimmy. And I've got some real history and passion about Philly hip hop. So for my selfish reasons, I want to throw out a couple names to you. Probably these young cats won't know or remember. And I just want to see if you know anything about them, if you've got a comment, you've got a quick story, or you may say, nah, man, I don't know much about them. You are older than me, Scott. In my history from the 80s when I was younger, the Hilltop Hustlers crew.
Yeah, them was my boys.
Yeah?
Study B, Cool C, EST. You know what I'm saying?
The Acmiculus one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. That was one of my favorite. That whole era, that group, exactly. Steady B, Going Steady, the Hilltop.
Yeah. I'm from that era. I know them. We all from the same, not too far from each other. We all from West Philly.
Okay. All right. So that was part of your scene growing up. So as a kid in the suburbs of Ohio, I was hip to that. That's how big, at least that was to me. MTV Raps and a lot of that was able to kind of spread that around the world. And what most people don't know too, another name I'll throw out there, Schoolie D.
Yeah, that's my homie.
Okay, so you know him like from the city or from the music industry, or?
I know him. I just know him. You know what I'm saying? I gave Schoolie an award.
Okay, that's awesome, man. Because you know that is everybody talks a lot about gangster rap, and the first conversation almost always goes to NWA, right? If you're kind of, I think, out of the know. But for me, I think like 1985.
Yeah, Schoolie started it. He was talking that talk way back when.
Yeah, so that was my first exposure to gangster rap, and then I've read that he inspired Ice-T's 6 in the Morning, which was '86. The next year I got into gangster rap, and that was a couple years before the whole NWA thing. Are you still doing the Philly Hip Hop Awards? Speaking of Philly hip hop.
Yes, I'm still doing it. I just skipped this year because I was so busy. I got so much going on. I'm working on a new movie project, and other things I got that I just didn't have time to focus on. But I'm coming back next year.
Okay. So what's going on right now in the Philly music scene? What's hot? What's popping? What are you seeing?
I mean, Meek Mill, Meek, P&B Rock, you know, a lot of other up and coming artists, but yeah, you know, Philly is always in the mix. It's not a time that Philly not going to be in the mix or have an artist out there somewhere. When everything is going on, there's always a Philly artist involved, from, you know, like Cassidy to State Property to Beanie Siegel to Eve to Meek Mill to Gilly the Kid. It's going to always be a Lil Uzi. It just keep going. It's like there's going to always, but people don't know, there's going to always be a Philly artist in the mix when it's popping. It's never not going to be somebody from Philly.
Absolutely. Like we've been saying, it's been that way since '85, right? At least.
Yeah, always. I could just keep going. Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince and Boys the Men, or it's just going to Jill Scott, Music Soul Child, hip hop, R&B, hip hop, rap, whatever. It's going to be right now like what AR Ab, well, he just got indicted or whatever. But there's always somebody popping in the city doing their thing. Always, like, it's just that kind of city. It's going to be somebody. Charlie Baltimore. I could just keep going and keep naming them. Miss Jade. I could just keep going.
Well, let's talk about you bring up a good point with the AR Ab. One of the things that stood out to me in the documentary, Jimmy, is you had 1 foot in the streets and 1 foot in the music industry.
Mm-hmm.
And here you guys are you're doing these deals with Jay-Z and Dame and a lot of other record labels looking at you just at the time you also get FBI informant sells you out and you get picked up. So we still see that playing out, right? You just mentioned AR Ab. If we look at YNW Melly, Kodak Black, Tay-K, Snitch 9. I mean, so many young artists that are still doing a lot of this hustling stuff and still in the music business. Do you have any, if you were personally grooming somebody right now that had 1 foot in the streets and 1 foot in the music industry, what advice would you give them?
Well, first of all, I wouldn't mess with nobody that's either you doing one or the other. And I already been down that road, so I wouldn't go down that road. And I definitely school whoever I was with, because they don't know about that federal system, or probably even the state system. They don't know what it's like when you lose everything, and all that rap stuff is a wrap. Is over with. It's like no one want to hear you no more. When you do eventually come out, if you're not an old man or old woman or whatever, you pass your time. So if they play in that game, there's some very, very serious consequences. You know what I'm saying? So I school them the total opposite way, because I was a victim of that. You know what I mean? Because I was a product of my environment, and I became a victim of, you know what I'm saying, a victim of my environment.
Do you think, I think there was a time, and I'm speaking from an outsider, you would know more than me. I felt like there was a time that even the record labels, people disconnected from the streets, wanted to know about your street cred. You know, who can vouch for you, where you from, what you've done, that type of stuff. Do you think that's still a thing, or now they want to be hands off because you don't want to invest in somebody?
It's fake now. It's about if you got a lot of followers on Instagram. It's not the same when I was coming up and had a real street movement and real goons in your camp or your clique. And I came up where when we running back and forth to New York, it's like we going up with New York and we got 4 or 5 guns in the car, because we not having it. Like, you know what I'm saying? We got the rappers that's gonna rap, but we prepared for a shootout. Like, kind of like that was the mentality. It wasn't no social media. It's like, we don't know how these dudes gonna act, but we gonna get back to Philly. That was our mentality. You know what I'm saying? It just was. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like that now. You could just have on tight pants and some sneakers that light up at night and 100,000 followers, and you got a record deal because you said something stupid and silly and everybody liked it. It's just totally different now. You really had to have bars. Philly was known for having like really serious bars, from Beanie Siegel to Cassidy to major figures. Like you had to know how to rap. It was so competitive. Even when we started the battle rap scene with Reed Dollars and Hollow Man and E Ness, and like I said, it's always somebody from Philly that's making noise in the music or R&B industry every time. I could just keep going and it won't stop it. You'll probably be surprised, but I know because I'm here. You know what I'm saying? And I know this city is filled with so much talent. You just happen to be this talented city that's an hour and a half away from New York. But everybody really just take it personal. Just a different type of city. Like I don't. You know what I mean, it's nothing like New York. It's nothing like DC or Baltimore, and we all kind of around that region, an hour and a half, 2 hours away. I don't know. All I know is for a very, very long time, New York um, has been grabbing the best of Philly. Because you'll think they from Philly, from like the Roots, Floetry, you know what I'm saying, Jill Scott. You'll think they from New York. They're all from Philadelphia, and it just keeps going on. You know what I'm saying? It don't stop. It just keep going. You know what I mean? Kevin Hart, someone always in this city, and they be big people in the city. It don't be no little people. Philly people make it.
Yeah,
It just
a lot
happened to
of
be
super.
like that. And it's like, and I'm not bragging on none of that. It's just like, it just be like that. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's just that way. You know what I mean? It's just
And
that way. Someone coming out of Philadelphia.
it's in
Because
Philly's
the talent
DNA.
is
Yeah.
just so much. You know what I'm saying? So but I would school a person the right way if because I've been down that road, and I think that's my job to do. Is like if I get a artist or someone, no, even it don't even have to be an artist, someone off track, and I just see they lean into the negative side. I'm gonna just try to pull them to the positive side. Period. They don't even have to be in rap music. I'm gonna just do that. Period, because I know what both sides look like. I know how serious it is.
So, and you mentioned that nowadays it takes some shiny shoes and some Instagram followers, right, to get the attention of a record label. So let's talk about. I mean, you've seen it to what 2000s, the 90s, 2010. Now we're 2019, 2020. I do believe that streaming and the internet has created an opportunity that's never existed before for these young artists to go without label support. Some can make it, but I think the point they're missing, this is my opinion, the point they're missing is, yes, you can do it without the label, but you got to be able to do everything the label did. You got to be an entrepreneur. You got to be able to market. You got to be able to book shows. You got to be able uh, to have, be able to speak legalese, and all kinds of things. And you just can't sit in your bedroom at home and record some great music and somebody's going to find you, discover you. I think you have to.
Well, it happened with Soldier Boy.
Yeah, it's happened. There's been some exceptions to the rule, but I think so many people are looking at whether it be Soldier Boy or Russ, or Justin Bieber. People are getting discovered on YouTube. It's almost like a record deal. It's a 1 in a million shot.
But it's happening. It's happening more often now. Everything is like really social media. People's putting their own songs up and building their own following, and they're learning the game because they know more about the game now than I did at my time, because I needed an entertainment lawyer. I didn't know about contracts. I didn't know none of that because we was in the beginning stages of everything. Now it's like these people, these young artists, they know what publishing is, and they know what to expect, and they know what they get for writers or producers or whatever. They have a basic idea of what they're going to get. You know what I'm saying? And back then we was just learning. There's just a difference.
Sure.
Now we don't have access to the internet and didn't have these cell phones and stuff where you can look up everything in like 1 minute. If an artist signed a contract right now and he don't understand that, he can literally Google it, and it's right there in front of him. I didn't have that shit. I had to go give $1,500, $2,000 for an entertainment lawyer to look over the contract, and then still wondering, is he going to jerk me still? Because I still don't understand what he's saying.
That's a great point. Very great point. How would you suggest, if you're grooming, managing an artist right now, how do you develop them as entrepreneurs?
Well, I am actually managing an artist right now. His name is Ruler, and but I talk to him like I'm really his friend. Like if he go on his way, it really don't matter to me because I just know he's gonna be a better person. The music thing is like, okay, he's a good artist, but I'm teaching him the game. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm teaching him like if anything happened to me any given day, he can go on without me because he's under my tutelage. So I got him. Like more like, you know, I make sure he's all right, but I also make sure he all right as a person, not just an artist. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, the industry needs so much more of that type of mentoring, that type of fathering, in a sense, really needs it. And speaking of skills and books and mentoring and stuff, I think I heard, and I couldn't make it out, so I want you to tell me if I heard correctly. Did Rick Ross gave you Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill's book?
When I was in and when I was in jail with him, because I don't like reading. You know what I'm saying? I like writing, but I'm really not a big reader. You know what I'm saying? But when I got to prison, Rick was like, "You need to read these books, and you'll be even sharper." And I was like, "What's that?" So he gave me the book, "Think and Grow Rich" by Napoleon Hill, "As a Man Thinketh" by James Allen, and "Think and Grow Rich," the 21 lessons of life, the 7 habits of highly effective people, and maybe one more. I just can't think of it right now. But yeah, I read some serious books when I really got into reading. You know,
Those are classics. I got excited about that because, you know, not only appreciating YouTube, but that's my favorite book. I read it once a year minimum. But every one you named right there were classics that all
yeah,
entrepreneurs have to read.
yeah. And I have to go back and read them. You know what I'm saying? And I actually wrote a book about a year and a half ago. It's called The 21 Lessons of Life, because I started reading so many books like that, and I know how I think. And I said, I'm gonna write me like an inspirational type of book, and it's pretty dope. It's called The 21 Lessons of Life. It's right to the point, and you have to read it, but I think you would enjoy that. You know what I'm saying?
Is it on Amazon?
Yeah, it's everywhere.
I'm gonna pick it
21
up.
Lessons of Life by Jimmy DaSaint.
I'm gonna pick it up and read it for sure.
Yeah.
So spell or say the name of the artist you're working with again.
His name is Ruler, like Rulla. His Instagram is @RullaJ. RULLA then J. He's pretty dope, man. He's really a good artist, man. And
Okay.
I know good artists. This kid, because he got something different. And what I like about him, he's really good at making songs. Like, he's really good at hooks. When he get a beat, he focus on the hook first, because he know the hook is everything. The hook is, you know, it hooks you. You know what I'm saying? And he's really good at that. And a lot of people have actually been calling me to get hooks from him.
Yeah, I know some guys are making a living off just selling hooks.
Yeah.
There's a couple of them
So he
for
could be one
sure.
of them.
So kind of give us some insight of maybe how you're helping him or what you see other young artists are lacking in the game today. Because there's going to be a lot of young artists watching this.
Well, I'm helping Ruler now, and I actually just shot a video of him yesterday, a new video that'll be coming out soon called Right Now. I help more than just Ruler. A lot of people call me for advice. They know I know a lot of stuff, and I just do it off the strength. You know what I'm saying? I don't want nothing for it. I just honestly just do it. You know what I'm saying? Unless they get a little crazy, you know what I mean? Then I got to charge. But little stuff is nothing for me to help someone and get someone some advice or steer them in the right direction. It's like nothing. You know what I'm saying? Anything that's real simple for me to do, and I know I could do with a phone call or something, I don't want nothing for that. I just do it.
Well, that's from a place of giving and a place of gratefulness, and that's why I believe you are so well connected and have such a strong network. And I see that because that's a gift and a talent in itself. And in fact, the last guy I interviewed on this show, we talked a lot about networking because everything's online, right? And nobody has that skill anymore to network offline.
Rick taught me that. I wasn't good at that till I met Rick, because he was real good at networking, because he was like, he got like 20, 30 letters every day in prison. People writing him from all over the world. And he would write every one of them back. It was just like, I'd be like, you're going to write all of them? He'd sit there on his bunk and write every person who wrote him a letter back. And he had thousands of them. And he said, Jim, this is what you do. They'll always remember that. I always had that friend. And he's like, when you learn this, because I was more standoffish, especially in prison. I wasn't trying to talk, you know what I'm saying? I was writing my books and I was standing out the way, counting my days down. But Rick was like, read these books and get a better understanding of how to connect with people. And then I had to learn how to do that, because I just never was like that, you know what I'm saying? But I had to change my ways to change my ways.
Sure. So giving is a part of that economy. Giving first without expectation.
Giving is a part of that. I think to really, really succeed in life, you got to be a giver too. I just do. You know what I'm saying? That's why people is happy on Christmas, birthdays, special occasions, because we give.
That's powerful.
Such and such is giving a party. Everybody there. You know what I'm saying? So when you give, you'd be surprised how much come back for you giving. And plus, it's something I believe in that I study. It's called Dharma. You ever heard of that?
Yeah.
Dharma. I love Dharma. And
yeah.
Dharma is like giving, you know, loving, you know what I'm saying? Sharing, you know what I'm saying? So I don't mind giving, because I've been blessed on so many levels. And I look at it like I've been blessed with life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was, you know what I'm saying, blessed to survive getting shot 10 times.
Yeah. Amen. And the thing about Dharma too is you could give to Rula or give to me or whatever, and it doesn't have to come back from us, but it's going to come back to you.
Yeah. Exactly. And it's not like I'm expecting nothing to come back neither.
Right.
I'm just doing it because it's who I am.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not like, okay, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna get this back. I ain't thinking about getting nothing back. If I'm grieving the next day, I got my get back.
Yeah. It's great.
You feel me?
So what are you working on now?
Right now, I just released 2 books about a month ago. A book called Legend, based on a true story about this basketball guy who fell on hard times and got on drugs real heavy. And another book called Sosa. I released both of them about a month ago, Sosa and Legend. And I'm finishing up a movie I just got finished filming. It's called The Karma Effect. Finishing that up. I'm gonna do a big movie premiere and everything in Philly, hopefully in late December. And I'm working on some other stuff, because I might got a big project coming with some major players from out Hollywood, because I wrote a script about an incident in prison, a true story, and I wrote about this incident, and it was turned into a script, and now they got some big names really checking it out.
Yeah, after watching your film on Amazon, I'm thinking there's got to be not just a movie about you coming, but there's so many stories that you're connected to in your network that you could write scripts for. There's got to be some movies on the horizon for sure,
Yeah,
right?
I got some stuff. I mean, yeah, I got some stuff, you know what I'm saying? But I never really talked about a personal movie about me. You know what I'm saying? The documentary just came out, it's been out 3 weeks, maybe a month. You know what I'm saying? So
let's talk about that for a minute. Tell people a little bit about that.
It seemed to be doing good. You caught it.
Yeah. Yep. Came up in my recommendations and turned it on immediately. And man, I stayed up till it was late when I started it, but I stayed up to 2 or 3 finishing it, and reached out to you almost right away.
Yeah, that's dope. You know what I'm saying? A few people actually been reaching out to me. They saw that and they was like, this is a dope documentary. You know what I'm saying? Just try to open up and just give them, because so many people always was telling me, like, you got a crazy story, man. It's so real.
Yeah.
because you so connected. You know so many people. You've been in so many situations, and you really been it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't talking about somebody else who did it. That's really my life. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Certified.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, it really is. Go to prison, running to Rick Ross. Me and him become the best of friends. Matter of fact, me and Rick Ross got a reality series coming out called Street Bosses, turning street thugs into street bosses. We mentoring 12 guys.
Ooh, I love that.
Yep. We're he's about to come here. We about to we're shooting a trailer. He'll be here in another 2 weeks maybe, and we're going to shoot the trailer because we already shot some scenes, but we're going to shoot the trailer for that. And it's called Street Bosses, and Rick is the mentor, and I'm one of his soldiers when he's not around to keep everybody straight.
That's great. That should be great. I'm excited for that project. I can't wait to see that.
Yep, Street Bosses. Matter of fact, if you go on my page on Instagram, you'll see maybe 2 days ago, 3 days ago, is a little video I put up, and it's Rick Ross talking about Street Bosses with me next to him.
Okay. Then we'll have everybody check that out. Speaking of which, then, where can everybody contact you, reach out to you, watch your movie, find your Instagram? What do you want to share? Twitter, website?
I mean, my Instagram is at Jimmy DaSaint 1, the number 1. Twitter, the same thing, Jimmy DaSaint 1. Facebook is just Jimmy DaSaint. And I got my website, DaSaintEntertainment.com. And my documentary, American Hustler, is currently right now on Amazon Prime playing right now. So, you know, you can definitely find me. I'm around. You found me.
Yeah, real easy. And I appreciate it too. You've been real hospitable and easy to converse with, and I've really enjoyed this. And I want to encourage everybody to go check out that documentary and leave it a 5-star review, because I know you're going to enjoy it. And you young artists, you've got questions, you want to make connections, you want to be a schooled, what was the name of the show? Street Boss?
Street Bosses.
You want to be turned into a street boss, then I recommend you reach out to Jimmy DaSaint and him and
check out me and Rick book, Black Scarface. That's my number 1 selling book, Black Scarface. That's the book I wrote with Rick Ross. It's like my top selling book. And it's a 4-book series. And that's also was written into a script, and it's going to be like a TV show. We're getting that ready too for 2020.
Wow, big things coming for you guys, man.
Yeah, Lord willing.
I'm happy for you, man. I'm happy. That excites me.
How
many books you got total out?
I don't know, maybe 30.
Wow.
I got like 7 or 8 books still I ain't even put out yet. I got to get to them. I've been so busy. I ain't even put them out. They already written. They just sitting around.
That's impressive. Anything in foreign languages, or are they all English?
No, they all in English. I didn't do nothing for foreign language, and I also didn't do an audio book. You know what I'm saying? Because I got to do audio book, especially for Black Scarface, because Black Scarface is real popular. You know. So
yeah.
I'll get to that eventually. Like I said, sometimes it'll be overwhelming because it's basically just me.
Yeah, audio is where it's at.
Yeah.
In fact, I just picked up a Philly, somebody from Philly's audio book this week. Chris Schwartz, Rough House Records.
Chris is my man.
Yeah.
I work with Chris. Chris Schwartz is the owner of Rough House Records.
Yeah, I just downloaded that book. I haven't listened to it yet, but I bought it on Amazon Audible.
Chris is a real good friend of mine. Matter of fact, he just called me not too long ago. He needed a favor.
Awesome. Well, I'm looking forward to that book and checking it out. It's a big fan.
And that's the owner of Rough House Records. That's who put Lauryn Hill and the Fugees out.
Yep. And School.
You might need to do an interview on him. I could probably get you, Chris.
Uh-oh. Now we're talking. There's a Dharma. Hey, it's Thanksgiving Eve. I don't want to keep you. I know you got family there. I'm very grateful for the time you gave us. Look real forward to the projects you coming out, especially the one where you guys are mentoring young people. I mean, that's what I'm trying to do here tonight. I think that's going to be huge. And hopefully, man, I pray this blesses you and it sends some connections to you and get you a lot of 5-star reviews. And it's really worth your time.
That's what's up. I appreciate that, Scott. And let me know. You can just call me if you want people to come on your podcast or whatever. Like I said, if you want Rick, Chris, they're phone call away from me, and I just ask them to do it, and it'll get done.
Well, I'm gonna hold you to that. I got your number now, so we'll make that happen.
Yeah, you call me. Call me on Friday, and I'll put you on a three-way with Rick
I appreciate it, man.
or Chris. You know, either one, and I'll tell them about you, and you be straight. I'll get you some more people on your thing, man, to help your podcast out.
That'd be phenomenal. Appreciate it. And I'm sure everybody watching would love to hear from those giants as well.
I got you. That's like nothing, man. Trust me.
All right. Thanks again, Jimmy.
Peace, Scott. All right, homie.